So, match day 8 of the Premier League, we're going to go through each fixture and give my prediction, my score prediction for the game. So, yeah, let's get into it. No intro because I'm the absolute governor. You know how it goes, right? Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest is the game that will kick us off. Now, we start with Forest. Is it going to pick up under Ange? I mean, a lot of us are surprised that he wasn't sacked during the international break. I was kind of expecting him to be fired there, but no, it's not happened. He's still in the job. They're still giving him this game. Chelsea, I mean, yeah, I was going to say they've been a bit hit or miss sometimes, but, you know, the red cards haven't helped in that. That's been their biggest problem, is just the discipline on the red cards. But they're still not in a bad position, you know. I think more people are making a big deal out of it than they need to, because they are still in a good position. It's not like they're, you know, bottom half of the table. I just can't see them dropping points to Forest under Ange. They don't have the players that Ange, you know, that suits Ange's system. You know, Nuno's system fit these players perfectly. They made a big mistake getting rid of Nuno, and then there's rumours that Sean Dyche will be the replacement for Ange if they do sack him. So, which I think is inevitable. It's coming soon, isn't it? I'm gonna say 2-0 win to Chelsea. Sunderland versus Wolves up next. Wolves got 2 points in a row now, you know, 2 draws in a row, the 1-1 draw against Tottenham and the 1-1 draw against Brighton. So, you know, they're finally starting to get points on the table, slowly but surely. You know, it's not enough. They do need to start winning games, you feel like. Obviously, Sunderland doing very good start to the season. Did use to Manchester United in their last game as a 2-0 loss for them. I think just Sunderland at home, I think they're just going to be too much for Wolves. So I'm going to say another 2-0. I'm going to say a 2-0 win to Sunderland here. Burnley versus Leeds up next. You know, this is a relegation 6-pointer, you could say. Even though Leeds have started quite well, Burnley haven't got many points, but they've had some difficult games and they've made it difficult for most teams that they've played. So, you know, Parker's got him set up well, difficult to beat, and points will come with that style of football, I think. I mean, in the Championship, I'm pretty sure United didn't beat Burnley. I think Burnley got 4 points against United there. So, you know, but obviously this is a new season for me. They got new signings, new players. I'm gonna go over 1-1. I'm gonna say a 1-1 draw, I think. Yeah, I think Leeds United have been quite impressive under Farker. They've done better than I thought they would. You know, a lot of tall players, a lot of physical players. But I just think Burnley, they're going to be difficult to break down. Anthony's been on form as well. So yeah, I'm going to say a 1-1 draw. Now, up next is statistically, it's the best match of the game week, with both of them in the table. It's Crystal Palace against Bournemouth. Both teams having an absolute fantastic start to the season. Obviously, Palace did just use their first game to Everton. But still, before that, they'd beaten Liverpool. They've got some good results. They've got some very good results. They were unbeaten. They were on a 19-game unbeaten run, I think it was. So, you know, they've got some good players in there, you know. Mateta obviously comes to mind. Sarr is on fire this season so far. You know, very good defensively with Kwar, Richards and Gahey. Bournemouth, I mean, Semenyo, one of, if not the best player of the Premier League so far. Obviously, you got High in there, but you know, also got just a very good, well-balanced team. You know, Alex Scott in the midfield, quite like him. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is difficult. I'm gonna go home team advantage. I'm gonna say 2-1 to Bournemouth. No, 2-1 to Palace. Sorry, I think it's 2-1 to Bournemouth. 2-1 to Palace. But I was considering saying 2-1 to Bournemouth. That's why I need to see up there. But no, I'm gonna go 2-1 Palace. 2-1 Palace. Just stick with it. Don't change my mind. Brighton versus Newcastle up next. Newcastle. Obviously, it's these types of games they'll be looking to get the maximum amount of points in, won't they? They'll be wanting to win this game for sure. I mean, they want to win every game, so it's a stupid thing to say, really. But, you know, I mean, these are the type of games that they should, because they've not had the best start of the season, so these are the type of games they should start picking up, the results and everything. Away to Brighton. I mean, it's not going to be an easy game by any means, Brighton. They're very, very good, especially at home. You know, so it's going to be difficult. But Brighton, I actually really like their squad as a whole. I think they've got really good squad depth throughout. Newcastle, Voltamade's on form, been a great signing so far. Obviously, that you know what you get with Newcastle, that midfield, they're just an absolute nightmare. I'm going to say 2-0 to Newcastle. I think Newcastle will go away and get a 2-0 win. Yeah, I think that'll be a decent result for them. Obviously, Brighton, as we said, came in that last game, came off the draw with Wolves. But yeah, I do think Fabian Hersey is a good manager as well. But I just think, I think 2-0 to Newcastle. Another quite fun one here, Man City versus Everton. Now, I think this is fun, not in the sense I think it's going to be a close game. I think it could be a difficult game for City. You know, Everton have been quite decent this season. As I said, they just got the win against Crystal Palace. Man City obviously coming off that win against Burnley. Haaland's on fire. This might be the best I've ever seen Haaland play of his overall play. You know, and I don't know. Obviously, the biggest miss for Everton is I'm pretty sure Grealish isn't allowed to play this game because he's on loan from City. Which is going to be a big loss for them. But they still got some good players. And Dai, obviously, you know, comes to mind as their main one. But then they got quite a physical defense as well. But ultimately, I think, I just think City are going to have too much for them. Again, I'm going to go with another 2-0 win for Manchester City at home. But I'm intrigued to see how Everton do here. You have to tune in later for my Arsenal versus Fulham prediction and preview. So skipping on, we're going to go with Tottenham versus Aston Villa. Now, Tottenham in third, the most statistically, when it comes to the Premier League table, they're the most improved team of the season so far. Very well set up under Thomas Frank. Wasn't completely convincing in their game against Leeds recently, but they did get the win. They got the 2-1. Like I said, Thomas Frank, I think, is a fantastic manager. So, he's gotten well set up. Good defensively. Got some quality players in there. Paulinho as well, I think, was an absolute great signing. Villa starting to pick up the points again now, starting to get the goals after, a poor start to the season. Watkins is starting to get goals. Morgan Rogers is firing again. Difficult game for Tottenham, this, in recent memory. I think Villa did the double over him last season, but I think this is a completely different Tottenham team. I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Tottenham. I think Spurs will get the 1-0 win, which is, again, a very good result for them. Now on to the main one, the one that everyone, when these fixtures came out, this was the one for this game week that most people were looking at. And that is Liverpool, Manchester United. This is the big one, right? Liverpool, obviously, international break came at a good time for them. I think they needed that reset. Manchester United just got the win against Sunderland 2-0, as I said earlier. It's been very stop-start for United. They win one, they lose one, that type of thing. Liverpool, thing is, their bad form, their losses came away from home. At home, they're unbeaten in, I think, 7 games, is it? Forgive me if I'm wrong on that. But they've actually still been alright at home. And, I do expect it still to kick at some point. I expect them to come good. I expect them to start performing well as well. Whether that starts here, I don't know. But I do expect them to bounce back here. And I think they will get the win. I'm going to say a 1-0 win to Liverpool. I think they will edge it. I think it'll be scrappy. I think, it'll be cagey at times. But I think Liverpool will do it. And the final game, on the Monday, 8 p.m. kickoff, it is West Ham against Brentford. West Ham under Nuno, obviously Nuno's second game. Brentford under Keith Andrews, of course. Keith Andrews surprising some people. Brentford aren't doing too bad at all. West Ham could do with a win here. Brentford usually score away from home. I'm going to say a 2-1 win to West Ham at home. I think that's a big result for them. West Ham need that win because they don't want to be pulled into a relegation fight. But that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to support anyway. It is greatly appreciated. I'll see you in the next one.